Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Mayor Tory, Councillor Mantas, and those joining us virtually, I want to say welcome to the TTC's newest bus garage and the fourth in Scarborough, I should point out. Let you know that this garage embodies the modernization we're undertaking here at the TTC. It is energy efficient, and it was built with the community's input and interests at front of mind. Ultimately, this new facility will help us deliver even better service to our customers, and in particular, to the people of Scarborough. So with that, I'd like to welcome Mayor Tory to come up and make some remarks.
Well, thank you, Rick, and my colleague, Councillor Nick Mantas, and ladies and gentlemen. You know, I was thinking to myself that people often wonder, where do my tax dollars go? And how are we improving the transit system? What can I actually look at? And what can I actually see and feel that is actually making for better transit service in the City of Toronto? And this facility that we're opening today is a good example of that. Not that the cost entirely matters, but it cost $181 million to build this facility. And it is something that is going to be an important part of looking after the hugely important backbone of our transit system, namely the buses. We have 2,100 buses, 2,300 if you include the Wheel-Trans vehicles that are a bit different, and they travel, taking passengers around the city, 140 million kilometers per year. They are the backbone of our transit system. And of course, the backbone of the bus system are the people who drive those buses and maintain them. And this is a place where that activity is going to happen. And it is the newest of the bus garages in the city's fleet of bus garages, because of course across a big city like this you have to have quite a number of them, and it is something that is just such a pleasure to be a part of, and I'm so glad that I could be here with Councillor Nick Mantas, in whose ward this resides, and with the CEO of the TTC, Rick Leary. As for Rick Leary, what can I say? He is just such an excellent leader of integrity, of competence and capability. He's collegial, he's easy to work with, and I can just say I have the world of confidence in him and getting this project done. It's one of those ones for me where I showed up at the groundbreaking as mayor in 2018, and you sort of think that these things are a long way away. You wonder, in fact, will you ever see them get open, because different things happen to cause delays and so on. But here we are at this facility, and of course that's not only a tribute to the men and women who built this garage, the people who actually did the construction work, but it's a tribute to Rick Leary and his team, because they got it done. And at the time Jason McDonald was showing me the blueprints, you couldn't imagine something that is as remarkable as this complex. And I hope that through the media you'll have a chance to see some of the inside of this place, because, it sounds difficult to make interesting a garage where our buses are maintained and dispatched, but it is actually a state-of-the-art facility that we can be very proud of. And it is something that is happening in the 100th year of the founding of the TTC. And I hope it demonstrates to people that we're continuing to do work. It isn't just about transit expansion. I'll make a brief reference to that. But it's also about improving service. And we've done a lot of things here in Scarborough, including the rapid transit busway that we've recently inaugurated. We've done a lot to improve service, to meet the special service needs of people during the pandemic, but also to build facilities like this. And it actually will be home to 90 maintenance employees who, again, are part of the backbone of this transit system and of the TTC, and 600 operators, bus operators and transportation staff. 15 different bus routes will operate out of this garage. It's a modern, state-of-the-art facility where, frankly, a lot of behind-the-scenes work takes place to keep the transit system running and to make sure it's reliable for the people who use it each and every day. It also includes something you probably would never see unless you have the opportunity to take a helicopter ride or a plane ride over this building, which is one of the largest green roofs in all of Canada. And again, we are building our buildings, our public sector buildings these days, with climate change very much in mind. And it also has a rooftop solar system to go with that, so that we can make, through everything we do going forward, a positive contribution to our fight against climate change and to the elimination of greenhouse gas emissions. The TTC is a leader in emphasizing our commitment to being an environmentally friendly city, evidenced again by the fact that they have the largest fleet of electric buses. We do at the TTC right here in the City of Toronto, in all of North America, buses on the road serving customers. So the garage builds on that, and will have a much smaller environmental footprint as a result of that commitment made during the budgeting and construction of this facility. I want to just acknowledge the importance of the location of this bus garage. You'd sort of say, well, you could locate them almost anywhere, and what does it matter? It is not an accident that this bus garage is located here in Scarborough. because by locating this bus garage here, it will make bus service more efficient in this area, as Scarborough buses that were previously maintained in the west end of the city will now be maintained here and will be closer to home, as it were, in terms of where they serve customers when they have had their maintenance. This is good for Scarborough. It will ensure that we can get buses out on the road quicker so that the residents of Scarborough have fast, reliable transit that they need to get where they're going. And it will happen quickly. We will see buses rolling out of this garage starting Sunday, March the 28th, just 1 week from this Sunday. We know how important it is to invest in our transit system in all parts of it, and that's why this investment in buses today is so important. Toronto's transit system will help to drive the success of our city in the post-pandemic recovery, and that's going to be a big challenge that rests in front of us. You know, we all know that our transit system was fundamental to our economic success we were enjoying before the pandemic, just as it will be important to the success we enjoy as a city and as a city economy after the pandemic. People have to be able to get to work and get home, and people have to be able to get around in the city to keep the economy going. So today's announcement is good. It shows the work we're doing to advance our bus system and our transit system as a whole in Scarborough, but also across the city. And it's one more example of the work that we're doing with the other governments as well, because they are, of course, our integral and very generous partners when it comes to helping finance transit expansion in particular, and in some cases helping us with the purchase of the transit vehicles, such as the electric buses, which were partnered in with us by the Government of Canada. We want to keep people moving. We want to keep people connected to each other and connected to opportunity in our city. Transit isn't just about lines on a map. It's about connecting people to each other and connecting people to opportunity, and connecting up especially some of those neighborhoods in our city that have become, over time, inadvertently, more isolated and more marginalized. I'm very, very proud of the TTC. They have done an incredible job, the men and women who make up that service, of keeping service going. When you think about it, throughout the pandemic, the service was maintained at near normal levels, notwithstanding the fact that ridership dropped dramatically. And that is a tribute to Rick Leary and the entire team of all the thousands of people who do everything from maintain to drive to work in administration and on projects like this. And so I want to thank them for bringing this garage to life so quickly and to help us to build a better transit system for people. And so on that note, I will say thank you to, again, Rick Leary and his whole team, and to all the people responsible for building this great facility that we're going to have a look at this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you for acknowledging the importance of the backbone of the city being bus. We've definitely seen that, and it is the men and women that are working here you see here today, right, that really make that happen day in and day out. What I'd like to do now, Mayor, is I'd like you to welcome me to this stage right here, and we'll unveil the plaque for McNicoll Garage. Thank you for that. Now I'll ask Councillor Mantas to step up and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Mayor John Tory, Rick Leary, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to stand with you this morning. Welcome to the new TTC's McNicoll complex. McNicoll is an important addition within our community. Thanks to the local community and residents for their patience during construction. This facility was built after extensive consultation with the community, including immediate neighbors, Monchong Long-Term Care, the Monchong Condominium residents, and the Scarborough Chinese Baptist Church. Thank you also goes to the Heathwood Ratepayers Association for its support. Speaking of community consultation, it was from a request that arose during one of many community consultations prior to the construction of the McNicoll Garage that the TTC was able to protect and preserve the Vimy oak tree on this property. Acorns, collected from Vimy Ridge in France, the battlefield in World War I, by Lieutenant Leslie Howard Miller, were planted at a family fruit farm just north of this site. The farm was named Vimy Oaks. The TTC engaged with City of Toronto Heritage and Cultural Services to produce a bronze plaque to recognize its significance to the area. Many of those oak samplings have been planted across Canada. It is a nice reminder of our historical past and of the details that went into this state-of-the-art facility. As mentioned, actual bus service will begin with next week. A total of 15 routes will operate out of McNicoll. The residents of our community can be proud of the modern facility and what we will be able to achieve for transit riders and residents across Canada. Thank you.
What I'd like to do now is I'd like to invite the mayor to join the councillor to unveil the Vimeo plaque. Thank you very much. You know, as I said earlier, this facility represents a real modern way of thinking for the TTC, a way that focuses on growth and prepared to meet the challenges of years ahead and the growth of this city. In addition to providing the much-needed space for growing our fleet, the facility in this location means that this area will have a smoother rollout of its fleet and continue our focus for the best possible service for our customer. Now, McNicoll is built to Toronto Green Standard and has the capacity of up to 250 accessible buses. And it also provides us with a much-needed bus storage and maintenance space. And in addition to just that storage capacity, McNicoll also has space for interior and exterior cleaning, administrative offices, repair bays, and paint and body shops, much needed for this organization. And finally, as I talk about speaking on years ahead, when we were preparing for this facility, our staff had the great idea of coming up with a time capsule. So I'd let you know that it will contain memorabilia from the first group of employees that work here, as well as a letter from our mayor and chair and others, and it'll be opened on the 30th anniversary in 2051. And I'd like to say thank you for everybody coming here today. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor. I want to thank staff and the contractors who built this facility for the wonderful job that you did, our community for helping us get to where we are today. I'm going to welcome everybody to come over, and we're going to cut the ribbon and open up the station. Thank you.